Casper the Crab and the Perfect Shell. Chapter 1, Casper's Great Search. It was a sunny morning beneath the surface of the sea. Casper the Crab woke up amidst the soft grains of sand, stretched his 8 legs, and looked around. His current home, a small shell, had become too cramped. Time to find a new home, he mumbled to himself. Casper began his journey among the colorful coral reefs. He admired the shimmering fish swimming in schools, thinking about which shell would suit him best. Maybe something in blue or green, he dreamed. Suddenly, he heard a voice. "Are you looking for something special?" asked a friendly starfish. Casper nodded and shared his desire to find the perfect shell. The starfish smiled and said, "Come with me, I know exactly where to look." They swam together through a field of seagrass and arrived at a place where the sun's rays danced on the seabed. There, among glittering grains of sand, lay a multitude of shells. Casper examined them one by one, but none felt right. "Don't give up, Casper," the starfish encouraged. "The perfect home is out there for you. You just have to keep searching." Casper thanked the starfish for the help and continued his journey. As the sun set and the moon rose, he decided to rest under a large strand of seaweed. He thought about all the shells he had seen and dreamt of the perfect shell waiting for him somewhere in the vast blue ocean. Chapter 2, Meeting the Colorful Fish. As the sun once again cast its rays over the depths of the sea, Casper woke up to a new day of adventure. He felt excited and ready to continue his quest for the perfect shell. Casper swam along a shimmering current that led him to a lively part of the reef, where the water sparkled with thousands of colors. Here, he met a group of colorful fish, frolicking among the corals. "Good morning, Casper. What are you looking for here?" asked a curious goldfish with sparkling scales. Casper shared his desire to find a new shell. The fish were eager to help. "I saw some beautiful shells near Sunshine Cave," said a blue fish with long, fluttering fins. "Or you can try Lucky Isle, where the shells are said to be the shiniest in the whole ocean," suggested another fish, whose scales shimmered in all the colors of the rainbow. Casper thanked the fish and swam toward Sunshine Cave, a place where sunlight filtered through the water, creating a magical glow. He found many shells there, each unique in its own way. But none of them felt like the right one. Casper decided to visit Lucky Isle. The journey was long and tiring, but the wonders of the sea kept him company. At Lucky Isle, where the sea surface sparkled like stars, he found shells of every color and shape imaginable. He spent hours searching and admiring, but despite their beauty, he didn't feel that any of them was his new home. "Maybe I'm too picky," thought Casper with a sigh. As evening approached, Casper decided to rest on a soft bed of seagrass. He looked up at the sparkling sky and felt both amazed and a little sad. He had seen so much beauty, but had not yet found his perfect home. Chapter 3, Secrets of the Night. After a long day of searching, Casper fell asleep under a glittering starry sky. When the moon reached its highest point, he was awakened by a soft glow shimmering through the water. Curious, he decided to explore the sea in the moonlight. Casper swam gently through the dark water, where the moonlight cast a magical glow over everything. He noticed that the night revealed another side of the sea, filled with mysterious creatures and shimmering colors. Suddenly, among a collection of glowing plankton, Casper discovered a hidden passage under a rock. He swam cautiously inside and found himself in a secret cave, where the walls were covered in luminous algae, and rare shells sparkled like jewels. Casper felt an excitement in the water, something he had never experienced before. Every shell he saw was more enchanting than the last. There, in a corner of the cave, he discovered a shell that glowed with a soft green light. It was not only beautiful but also seemed to sing a gentle song that only Casper could hear. He gently touched the shell and felt a wave of warmth and belonging. "Is this my new home?" he wondered. But he hesitated. The shell was incredibly beautiful, but he was unsure if it truly belonged to him. Casper spent the rest of the night in the cave, thinking and admiring the wonderful shells. As morning approached, he decided to leave the luminous shell behind. Perhaps my true home is not only beautiful but also something that feels right, he thought. As the sun rose once again over the sea's surface, Casper swam out of the cave, the feeling of adventure and discovery stronger than ever. He now knew that his search was not just about finding a home but also about understanding himself and his place in the wondrous world of the sea. Chapter 4: The Storm and the Lost Treasure. As Casper swam away from the secret cave, he was met by a clear and beautiful morning. He felt uplifted by the night's experiences but also determined to continue his search. Today's adventure led him closer to the coast, where the water was murkier but teeming with life and motion. Suddenly, Casper noticed that the sky was darkening, and the water began to move more violently. A storm was approaching. He knew he needed to seek shelter, but he couldn't resist exploring a small cove he had found. In the cove, among swirling sand and driftwood, Casper found a shell that was unlike any other he had seen. It was large and sturdy, with a pattern resembling the waves on the sea's surface. Casper immediately felt a connection to the shell. But before he could examine it further, the storm swept over him with full force. Waves and strong currents pulled him away from the cove and the shell. Casper struggled to stay afloat and navigate through the turbulent water. Finally, when the storm subsided, Casper found himself exhausted on a sandbank far from the cove and the shell. He was grateful to have survived, but his heart was heavy. The shell he had found and felt such a connection to was now lost. Casper spent the night on the sandbank, reflecting on the day's events. He realized that despite the terror of the storm and the loss of the shell, he had learned something valuable. Courage and perseverance were just as important as finding a home. As a new day dawned, Casper was ready to continue his search. He knew that there were more shells to discover, and that every challenge he faced made him stronger and more determined to find his perfect home. Chapter 5: Home in the Sea. After the storm, Casper woke up to a calm and peaceful morning. He felt a little sad about losing the beautiful shell, but also grateful and hopeful. He decided to revisit the places he had explored during his adventure, hoping to discover something he might have missed. First, Casper swam back to the coral reefs where his journey had begun. He greeted his old friends, the starfish and the colorful fish, and shared his adventures with them. They listened eagerly and encouraged him to keep searching. As he swam through the sparkling water, Casper began to realize something important. He had seen so many beautiful shells, but it wasn't just the shell's appearance that mattered. It was about the feeling of belonging, of being a part of the amazing and diverse world beneath the surface. With this in mind, Casper returned to the secret cave he had discovered in the moonlight. There, he once again found the luminous shell. This time, when he touched it, he felt a strong sense of belonging. He realized that this shell was not only beautiful but also felt like home. Happy and content, Casper settled into his new shell. It was not just a shelter but a home that reflected his journey and the lessons he had learned. From that day on, Casper became a part of the wonders of the sea, always ready to share his adventures and wisdom with other sea creatures. And so, in the heart of the vast blue ocean, Casper found not only a home but also a deeper understanding and love for the world he was a part of.